freaking duck. Oregon. It is so... Are you still running? So my favorite girl name... Good morning. Welcome back to another video. I feel like this one has been a long time coming because I just kind of forgot to do it, to be honest. I said that I would do a pregnancy Q&A. I never ended up doing it, and then someone brought it to my attention, so here we are. Also, I'm really into buying chamomile from Trader Joe's right now. I think it looks so pretty. I didn't want to do just a sit down Q&A, so I thought that we'd do it sort of like vlog style, and then I'll answer questions along the way. But first, let's just hop right into the first question, which was bump date, question mark. I'm currently exactly 6 months pregnant, and I love the little bump. I think it's so cute. The very funny thing about pregnancy is that I look different at different times of the day, but there's always a consistent bump no matter what at this point. In the morning, it's the smallest, and then by the end of the day, I feel so much bigger. And that's just because of food and liquid. I'm really hoping that I find some duck eggs out in the coop. Let's go collect those, make some breakfast, and get into the rest of the Q&A. The bread that I'm using today, it's the Bread Seriously gluten-free sourdough loaf. Switch off between getting this one and this buckwheat bread that I think I showed in my last video. While I cook breakfast, I'll answer more questions. So the next question was, how are you feeling? Which, thank you for asking. I think that that's the best question that you can ask a pregnant person, honestly, because there are so many questions that you receive when you become pregnant. It's all lovely, like it's all out of excitement and love and people wanting to be part of your life, which I love. I love when people ask me about my pregnancy, but at the same time, sometimes all you want is to be heard about how you're feeling, because there are so many new feelings, both mentally and physically, that come with pregnancy. And so if you have a pregnant person in your life, reach out to them, maybe right now, take this as your sign and just say, hey, how are you doing? Or how are you feeling? To answer the question, I am feeling good. I really am. Besides constantly being really out of breath, my energy is quite good. In terms of pregnancy, I feel good. I don't feel like myself pre-pregnancy, but that's obviously to be very expected. I don't have the energy to like go out for a long run, but I have energy to get my work done and to socialize to a certain extent and to get house stuff done. So my energy levels are actually really good compared to first trimester. First trimester fatigue is a fatigue like no other. I actually explained it to one of my friends. It's kind of a relaxing fatigue, the first trimester fatigue. It feels like it's like in your bones how tired you are, because so in your first trimester, quick little pregnancy fact, because I'm learning so much. During your first trimester, your body is really focused on building an entire new organ. It is so crazy. So you grow your placenta in the first trimester, and your placenta is this big new organ that your body just whips out of nowhere, and it is your baby's nutrition center basically. The hormones in order to do that are wild. The fatigue, because your body is working so hard, not only in developing this little tiny human, but also a brand new organ to keep that tiny human alive. Looking back, I'm like, okay, I understand what all the nausea and fatigue was about. The fatigue at the end of the day of first trimester honestly felt like I had gone for a really long run that day. It kind of reminded me of how I felt after long runs during marathon training. Like, it's that taxing on your body. And I actually love, okay, I don't know if love is the right word, but I love the feeling of after a really active day, that tiredness that you have when you're sitting on the couch, you just ate dinner, and it's like time to wrap up the evening. Know that your body worked so hard that day. I love that feeling, and that's kind of what the fatigue of first trimester felt like, but in a little bit more of an uncomfortable way because I didn't go for a long run that day. The second trimester fatigue is a little bit different. It's not as bone deep. It's more so mentally, physically just feeling tired. By 7 o'clock, I aim to be in wind down mode and getting ready for sleep. I'm gonna make 2 eggs this morning. The blue ones are from Olivia and Millie, and the white ones are from Sally Joe and Plucky Blossom. and I'll let my breakfast cook a bit. But back to my question. I'm feeling really good. The nausea is now at a point where I can totally manage it, except for every once in a while I'll get a morning of morning sickness. My life just looks different. That was the next question. Are you still running? How I approached running with pregnancy was I'm going to keep running until it doesn't feel good anymore, or until my doctor says I can't run anymore. I wanted to be very honest with myself when it came to running, because I know that I can be sort of extreme sometimes. I wanted to be very honest with myself. When does this not feel good anymore? And the last run on our New Zealand trip is when I started to get the feeling of, this doesn't feel great anymore. And so I actually have not gone on a run since our New Zealand trip. And I have decided to officially stop running for the rest of pregnancy because it just no longer felt good anymore. The best way for me to describe it is the feeling of running without a sports bra on, but in your stomach area, and instead of it being, you know, up here bouncing uncomfortably, it's a small human bouncing uncomfortably and hitting your bladder. I don't know, it stopped feeling good, and it stopped feeling good on my pelvis and this whole area. So at, I think it was 5.5 months, I decided to stop running. At almost exactly 6 months, which was just a couple days ago, I decided to stop surfing as well. I think that if I was somewhere where I could surf in a bikini, it would be doable to keep surfing until maybe 7 months, but the combination of a tight wetsuit, because right now the water is freezing, so I have to wear a 4-3, which is like a thick wetsuit. The combination of that, I felt like I couldn't breathe. So surfing is done too. It's very weird not doing the things that I love. I just tell myself that it's temporary and it's for a good reason, and it's forced me to find different ways of movement. I've been really enjoying hiking and walking. Yum. This is the hot sauce that I've been really into. This one's really spicy, be careful. Okay, the next question I got was from a fellow pregnant gal saying, how is your sleep? And if I have any tips or tricks when it comes to sleep, especially as things start to get more uncomfortable. So number one is a good pregnancy pillow. I will link the one that I'm using below. I think it's by the brand Mom Cozy. I adjust my position on it probably 10 times a night, and because you're getting up a lot to go pee anyway, so every time I get up I just kind of put it in a different position. Tip number two, I have been drinking a cup of this every single night, and it has become a crucial part of my routine. This is by the brand Needed. It tastes just like chamomile tea because one of the main ingredients is chamomile, along with magnesium, which you know, magnesium is my favorite supplement ever. And then there's also L-theanine, which is great for calmness, and L-glycine. This is not just for pregnant people, but it is pregnancy safe, which I really appreciate because I feel like when it comes to sleeping things and relaxation supplements, you have to be so careful when you are pregnant or breastfeeding to make sure that it's approved and safe. I love that this one is melatonin free, and it also has 3 different types of magnesium, which you know I've talked about in my previous videos, the different types of magnesium and why I love them. So I just do 1 scoop in a mug of hot water, and actually Joe loves this too. So I definitely need to get another jar soon because we go through it fast. I was just admiring the bottle because look how cute it is. This is like chamomile in the background. And then I realized that I was just talking about my chamomile. That was not on purpose, I promise. Maybe that's why I've been buying chamomile from Trader Joe's, because I'm like in the mindset now. I've been taking this religiously for the last couple of weeks, and I've also religiously been buying chamomile from Trader Joe's. The brain is a funny thing. Whether you are pregnant, breastfeeding, not pregnant, not breastfeeding, and you just want some good relaxation and sleep, highly recommend you can use my code WholeHannah for 20% off of Needed products. Let me also go get my collagen really fast. But while I'm at it, this is the collagen that I've been using. It's their grass-fed hydrolyzed collagen. Another random little fact is that collagen during pregnancy can be helpful for pelvic floor health, which is so cool. So yes, love the brand Needed so much. You can use WholeHannah for 20% off. Doing a rental service while pregnant is kind of a life hack because my size changes every month. I haven't taken this outfit off in 5 days, but I have washed it, okay? I'm at that point of pregnancy where when I find something that's comfortable, I'm gonna keep it on. Oddly shorts. This sweater was a hand-me-down from my neighbor, a vintage Patagonia sweater, and then also from Newly, sorry that this lighting is so bad, I am renting this sweater, which is a bit smaller than I expected, but it's cute. It has a big sun on it. So renting this long sleeve. It's a Free People long sleeve. Just nice, comfy, oversized things. Okay, I'm moving to the living room because it's more comfortable to sit here. Our little baby's due in the middle of summer. So all the clothes that I'm starting to collect are very summery if they're in the newborn sizes. This little tank top onesie, and maybe she could wear the little green shorts over it and look like a little watermelon. My friend Jordan sent us this adorable baby wetsuit. I cannot wait. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I can't wait for her to be able to fit in this. My friend Hannah knit her this tiny little beanie. My friend Bridget sent over these thrifted overalls, and then she sewed this duck fabric onto them. We have a denim baby carrier. This one is by Artie Pop, and Joe is very excited to wear this one. And then we also have a floral baby carrier. I love this print so much. And this one is by Wildbird, or by the brand Jamie K. And I found out later that this is actually a New Zealand brand because we went thrifting for a lot of baby clothes when we were in New Zealand, and I kept seeing Jamie K, and I was like, wait, I just bought onesies by that brand, and it turns out it's a New Zealand brand. So all the florals. Little striped one is so cute. Someone asked, have I started setting up a nursery yet? And the answer is no. There is a lot going on in our life right now, a lot of change coming, but no, I have not started a nursery yet because we won't be living in this house when the baby's born. I don't have the capacity to do a full update right now. I want to focus and lock in and do this pregnancy Q&A and save those updates for another video. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get distracted. So I'm gonna stick to doing a pregnancy Q&A, but that life update is coming, and I am so excited to start setting up a nursery. Like, that is what my dream has been, and I'm definitely starting to hit that stage where I just want to nest. Like, I want to make such a cute, cozy, homey space. I want to make a cute little nursery. I want to set up a crib and a nursing chair and organize the little clothes into different drawers. So I know that that time is coming. It feels like it's been a journey to get there, but we are eventually going to be able to do that, and I think I will take a huge sigh of relief when that time is here. It's matcha time. My friend Sam brought me back matcha from Japan. I'm telling you, this is the best matcha I've ever had, but I can't repurchase it because there's no label. If you happen to know what matcha this is, please tell me. This question is a fun one, and it is, do you have a name picked out yet? Yes, we have her name. I think it's her official name. We're at the point now where we call her by her name every day. My parents call her by her name, and I know that that doesn't mean that we have to name her. What we chose feels really good to be able to use a name. The name feels so right. It's a name that I never had on my list. So I was never the type of young girl that dreamt about my wedding. Our wedding turned out to be perfect for us, but I was never like this wedding dreamer girl. I was a baby name dreamer girl. From the ripe age of 9 or 10 when I started playing Webkinz. Did you guys play Webkinz? And Club Penguin, I would name my Webkinz and Club Penguin baby names that I thought that I loved. My favorite name when I was 10 years old was Ray, R-A-Y. A lot of my Webkinz were named Ray. A lot of my Club Penguin penguins were named Ray. That later turned into Grayson. It's funny because my friend who just had a baby from Portland from college, she named her baby Grayson, and I was like, yes. I've always kept a list of baby names, and boy do they change over the years. Funny to think that, you know, I'm like 9 or 10 years old thinking of baby names. Also, can we talk about the fact that this brand now makes milk without a bunch of additives? Love it. This is just water, organic almonds, and sea salt, and their coconut milk is really good too. it's really cool to see brands starting to simplify their ingredients. But my point in saying all of that is that the name that we chose is not on that list and has never been on that list. I don't know if I'll ever use any of those names that are on that list. I will say though that some of those names on that list did turn into our pet names. So my favorite girl name ever is Olivia. And I know I've talked about this on my Instagram stories before. I just think that it is the most beautiful name, and I know that it is very common, especially for girls my age. I'm almost 28 and I know a lot of Olivias, so 28 years ago. And there's also so many Hannahs, not particularly how I spell it, but with an H at the end. I feel like Olivia, Hannah were very popular names. So I wouldn't use the name Olivia just because it is rather popular and I know so many Olivias, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with using a popular name. I don't feel the need to go way outside the box with baby names. I actually really do love classic names, hence Olivia. I ended up naming out one of our ducks Olivia. She's gray and blue and she's just the most beautiful duck. Wow, you deserve a beautiful name like Olivia. And then also Joe and I used one of our favorite girl names on our cat that we adopted in New Zealand about 5 years ago, and her name is Billy with an IE at the end. So those are some favorite names. I also love boy names for girls. We actually tossed around using the name Joe for a baby girl, and who knows, maybe we still will one day. But if you don't know, my husband's name is Joe, J-O-E. It's not short for anything. His name is literally just Joe, and he also doesn't have a middle name, so his name is literally Joe, which I just find so cute and simple. And it was actually my mom's idea. She was like, wait, what about Joe for a little girl? You could spell it J-O, you could spell it J-O-E, like whatever. And we really pondered that for a second. Like, of course, at first Joe was like, are you sure you'd want to do that? And then I'm like, that would be the cutest thing ever to have Joe and then a mini Joe, especially since she's a girl. I don't know, I loved that idea so much. I don't know what happened, we just kind of let that idea go, but who knows, maybe one day. And then also Joe's brother is named Jack, and we're like, wait, what if we name a little girl Jack? Like, that is so cute for a girl to name her Jack. I love more masculine names for girls. The name that we're going with, I would not say it's masculine at all, although even if we had a boy, I think I would still consider the name that we're choosing. I think it fits a girl a lot better. Not that it really matters. I know it's so annoying, but we are gonna keep it to ourselves until she's born, just in case we decide to switch, just so there's not like a lot of pressure around it. Speaking of Olivia, let's go visit the ducks for a little bit. Our bananas are finally ripe. I know they don't look like it, but the inside is ripe, and they're strawberry bananas, so they're kind of, when you bite into them, they're sort of light pink. We've waited 2 whole years for these to ripen. This is Olivia. Isn't she just the most gorgeous thing? She always does that. She like smushes her face onto my face, and it's the cute. I love you. Oh, I never thought that I could be so bonded to a freaking duck. I thought that I'd answer the next question while I'm outside because it's so lovely. And the question was, what food are you avoiding because of pregnancy, and what food do you miss most out of those foods? So during pregnancy, I've chosen to avoid raw fish, so sushi, poke, and I've also chosen to avoid deli meat because of foodborne illnesses, etc. Those are just the ones that were recommended to me. And then obviously alcohol and any unsafe pregnancy things. And I miss all of the above except for alcohol. I honestly don't miss. But oh my gosh, like a good old turkey sandwich sounds so good. Or like putting salami in an Italian chopped salad, and then sushi. I miss sushi so much, and poke. Oh, it's worth it in the long run. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to get ready for this next chapter of our life, and I'm so excited and so grateful to have this community to bring along and share it with. So I will see you soon.